We are here in your house sports NFL recap week number 9. It's your boy Vasso's here, flying solo yet again this week as the boys are off doing their own thing. So actually, Fat Sam was on his way to Indianapolis as he got the news early that Frank Wright was being let go. But somewhere amidst him heading up that way to Indianapolis, they decided to go with Jeff Saturday for some reason, give him the head coaching job. So he made a detour and decided to stop in Carolina and discuss their now little brewing quarterback controversy of PJ Walker and Baker Mayfield. So he stopped off over there. Meanwhile, Manny is he's off negotiating with Mattress Mac to bring us into the fold. Trying to get him to decide to partner with us. So he's making a play for Mattress Mac to send some of that this way, some of that love. And I told him, I said, you know what? He's giving all the Astros all a bunch of luck. Maybe he had to push them off to the Texans. So just saying. But we'll see how those go. Be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. This video goes up on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Central on YouTube for the NFL. College football is Mondays at 4 p.m. Central. So let's go ahead and kick things off. Thursday, I'm glad I don't have Amazon Prime, and I am glad that I was at work and did not get to watch this game. Philadelphia traveled to Houston to take on the Texans. The Eagles won 29-17, which isn't bad considering I expected it to be a complete blowout. And it really wasn't. The score wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Philadelphia, like I said, Jalen Hurts, passed for 243 yards. I believe he also had almost another 100 yards. Dameon Pierce led the game in rushing, 139 yards. So some promise there. Pierce really kept us in the game early, and this was a tight game up until halftime. And then once the third quarter hit, that's when Philadelphia was like, wait a minute, we shouldn't be tied with y'all. No. So Philadelphia went ahead and put on the afterburners, and Davis Mills made some costly throws or interceptions, especially towards the end, kind of when you had to have something. He was just trying to make a play. So especially there on the last drive. So I get that one. Others, he just made poor decisions. Philadelphia improves to 9-0, I believe. They are still undefeated. Houston drops to 1-6-1. Yeah, 1-6-1. So yeah, it's painful, very painful. So breaking news as of yesterday morning, the Indianapolis Colts let go of Frank Wright, like I said, as Fat Sam was on his way to negotiate a deal up there before they decided to bring in Jeff Saturday. So he is gone. Frank Wright has mutually parted ways. And like I said, they hired Jeff Saturday. I'm assuming they couldn't get a hold of Pat McAfee. I'm assuming he didn't answer his phone on time. So Irsay decided, you know what, let me go with somebody else I know because I know Peyton won't take this job. So let me just call the third most famous Indianapolis Colt that I can think of. So he called Jeff Saturday. So this is after the New England Patriots thrashed the Indianapolis Colts 26-3. They picked them apart. I mean, I feel bad for Sam Ehlinger because no Jonathan Taylor, no Naheem Hines, who got traded to Buffalo last week after we got off the air. So it was bad. It was all around bad for for Sam Ellinger. So he literally had probably, I think, maybe one of his offensive players or skill players that was a normal starter. And yeah, like I said, he just what could go wrong did go wrong for him. New England's defense just stifled them. Uh, and, Belichick did what Belichick does when it comes to, I'll say, rookie quarterbacks, even though this is his second year, but it's his first year of starting games. So I think this is his second start overall. So, yeah, it's did not go well for young Sam Ellinger. Mac Jones, 147 yards passing. Like I said, not a ton of offense, as New England's defense, I think, did a bulk majority of the work. So, excuse me, one of those ugly, ugly games. So that game, and just the way this whole season has gone with the failed Matt Ryan experiment, just that was enough for Irsay to say, all right, Frank, you got to get the hell out of here. So that happened. And then in the game, I'm going to start with this game. The Los Angeles Chargers went to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. The Chargers escape 20-17. The Chargers should have lost this game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They should have lost this game. The Falcons find a new way to lose. Driving down with, I think it was like less than a minute left. The Chargers are getting into field goal range. They're right on the edge of it. Phillip Rivers throws a pass to, I believe it was Gerald Everett. No, it was Austin Eckler. He throws a pass, a check down pass to Austin Eckler, who breaks a tackle, and he's going upfield. He gets down to about the 30, and as he's getting tackled, one of the Atlanta defenders comes in and punches the ball out and makes him fumble right before he hits the ground. Right before his knee hits the ground, the ball's out. And one of the Atlanta's defenders, the defensive lineman, picks up the ball, starts running with it, gets to about the 40, and all of a sudden, nobody's around him, nobody touches him, the ball slips out of his hand. I mean, literally, the ball just slips out of his hand. It's like did he forget how to run with the football? It is literally when he, on his backswing of his arm, like that, the ball just went whoop. And of course, he's going full speed, and he's like, oh, can't stop. And then the Chargers defensive lineman jump on it. Basically got the ball right back where the original line of scrimmage was, so they had to get back into field goal range. They did, and got a little bit closer. Then kicked the game-winning field goal. Dicker, the kicker, the game-winning field goal, the walk-off field goal. So, like I said, Atlanta keeps shooting themselves in the foot, finding ways to lose. Just disappointing that the Chargers would struggle this much and had to rely on that, because otherwise, who knows what would have happened. Maybe they still win in overtime. Maybe Atlanta doesn't do anything. But you don't know. That's just one of those crazy things. You think you've seen everything in the NFL, then you see that. Also, we had Miami traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. Tua continues to impress. Tua Tagovailoa throwing for 302 yards. Miami wins 35-32. Justin Fields, though, man, had Mike McDaniels literally pull him to the side and say, stop it. Stop scrambling, as he's off to the side. Mike McDaniels is just pleading with Justin Fields to stop destroying my defense. Stop making us look bad. Stop running all over us, please. I'd rather you throw the ball. But Fields, I think, added about another 150 yards, which is not great. That's about average for him. It's about his average of passing. But like I said, 178 yards, dude. I think they finally figured out how to use him. I really do think that coaching staff has figured out the best way to get the most out of Justin Fields. Yeah, he can throw the ball a little bit. Let's just get a little bit of passing, keep them honest. But let's call design plays, or let's design plays to where he has the ability to just take off and go when things aren't there. So, but Tyreek, man, continues another 100 plus yard game, 143 yards for Tyreek Hill. That dude bad. That dude is bad as a bad man. You thought maybe his production would dip leaving Kansas City. Nah, it hasn't dipped. If anything, he's, and it's funny because he's splitting receptions with Jalen Waddle, who also had another 100-yard game. So it's like, pick your poison. Which one do you want? And Tyreek had to share catches with Travis Kelce, but Kelce wasn't going deep a lot of the time, like Tyreek is. He's not hitting these big plays up the field. Kelce was mostly across the middle, getting the tough yards. But Waddle is just like Tyreek, going upfield and getting, getting big plays and everything like that. So it's been crazy. But the Dolphins survive as a late game charge by the Bears, but Miami hangs on to win 35-32. Carolina, another dreadful performance as they get thumped by the Cincinnati Bengals, 42-21. The star of the day, Joe Mixon, with five touchdowns. Who the hell does he think he is, King Kong Bundy? He needs 5. But, he scores 5 touchdowns, 4 rushing. Al Bundy, watch your back. 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown. So I think it was 28-0 at halftime, I believe, is what the score was. I think P.J. Walker had thrown for like 6 yards or something like that. It was pretty pathetic that they ended up replacing him with Baker Mayfield to start the second half. Hence is where all of Carolina's points came from, was in the second half. So, do you have a quarterback controversy there? Apparently there is, but they're going to stick with P.J. Walker. I couldn't think. I'm like, wait a minute, which guy do they keep saying? It's P.J. Walker. They're going to stick with P.J. Walker. Apparently this is just a blip on the radar because that team is terrible. That offense is terrible. They basically gutted it, which is weird because this is the same team that beat the Buccaneers. But it's also the same team that found a way to lose in late game fashion to, Atlanta? I believe it was Atlanta. With the taking off the helmet and throwing it and all that other stuff. So, and then they struggle with this. They get blown out by Cincinnati, team who, by their standards, has had a rough year. But I think this is what Cincinnati needs to get them on the right track. Like I said, 42-21. Cincinnati didn't have to do much the second half, so good for them. Then we have another struggling quarterback as the Green Bay Packers fall to the Detroit Lions. That is right. I said that right. Green Bay falls to Detroit. Detroit wins 15-9. Aaron Rodgers just does not look right. 3 interceptions. And he's over there kicking and screaming. 2 of those were his fault. One of them, debatable. But you could still put all 3 on him. He made some throws that just weren't him. Throws that he normally does, that he makes in his sleep, that he just, for whatever reason, either left short, threw behind the receiver just a little bit that the defender could get to it. One of them got batted in the air near the goal line. So it's just like, man, you can tell he's frustrated. He's getting to the point to where it looks like he doesn't even want to be there. And Detroit, who had, I think, the worst defense in the league, like I said, just stifled him and held on, and their offense did enough. The offense did enough to win and send the Green Bay Packers to a horrifying 3-6 on the year. It's just, wow, it's just crazy that Green Bay is this bad this year. Detroit improves to a whopping 2-6. I think taking them to number 2 as far as draft order, which I think puts the Texans at number 1. Hopefully, we could use that number 1 pick, and I think get the number 3 pick. I think so. I'm all for that. Even better if we got 1 and 2. But I digress. Then we got another shocking upset this week. Buffalo Bills went up to the New York Jets to East Rutherford, New Jersey, or went down to New Jersey, I should say. The Jets upset the Bills 20-17 on a last-minute field goal. Josh Allen, in the process, was being evaluated after the game for a potential UCL injury, but he played not very Josh Allen-like. I mean, he threw 2 interceptions that you're just looking at and going, what are you doing? What are you looking at, dude? Especially that first one right down near the goal line. Bills go right down the field and inexplicably just throws the ball to the Jets. It's like, dude, what the hell was that? What were you looking at? Did you not see the guy? And then the other one with he just left it up there too long, and Gardner made a hell of a play on it. So, yeah, it's just very shocking because Zach Wilson did not play that well. He played well enough for them not to lose. And the Jets, like I said, the Jets defense carried them to that win. So it's crazy that is not one I don't think I would have called, or anybody else would have called, that the Jets would have what it takes to defeat the Bills. So good for the Jets as they head into, I believe, the bye this upcoming week. Then we had Minnesota continue its winning ways, improving itself up to 7-1 as they defeat the Washington Commanders 20-17. Again, another game that came down to the last minute. Minnesota does what it does. They find a way to win. It's seemingly been the story of the year. Minnesota has just stuck around these games, and they found ways to win, even if they've been struggling the entire game. All of a sudden, third, fourth quarter hits, boom, they start making plays, or they get out to a big lead and just hang on. They get out to a big lead early in the game and they hang on to it towards the end. So Kirk Cousins continues being Kirk Cousins. Does enough to win. Justin Jefferson continues being, a badass and another 100-yard game. Which it's funny because most of the damage Cousins and Jefferson did was on the first drive. This game, I think, was 7-3 for the longest time. But shout out to the Vikings. Looks like they might run away with this division pretty easily. Then following up the noon games, which I will get to the rest of them, but to the other evening games. But finishing with the Raiders at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Raiders jumped out to a 17-0 lead, only to blow it and lose 27-20. Devontae Adams, I think, had like 142 yards at half. Finished the game with 146 yards. What happened? The Raiders collapsed yet again. Jacksonville sticks around. Travis Etienne, man, that dude he has bounced back fully from that ACL injury that he suffered last year. The dude looks like a beast. If he played for another team, I think he would be considered one of the top running backs in the league and would be getting more recognition and more love, I think, from the NFL because, dude, you're in Jacksonville. That says it all right there. So, as Etienne rushed for 100 yards again, 109 yards total. But Raiders, finding another way to lose, and it makes me sad that when the Texans played the Raiders, we could not get that lucky that they would collapse. They stuck it out. But anyway, moving on to the 3 o'clock games, which there was only 2. First, we had Seattle going to Arizona and defeating the Cardinals 31-21. Kenneth Walker, another stellar performance, put up 109 yards rushing. Geno Smith continues to ride out this pretty good winning streak he's got. Continues to play well this season. This was a back and forth game. Pretty close for a while, and then, Geno just led them down the field. And same with Walker. Walker helped ice the game with a touchdown. But this Seattle team is good. And I know none of us 3 predicted that Seattle would be leading this division, this NFC West, which we thought was going to put out 3 playoff teams, maybe 2 playoff teams. At least 2. But it's a good win for the Seahawks. And then we had a rematch from the divisional round as the Los Angeles Rams went down to Tampa Bay to take on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. The struggling Tom Brady and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa finds a way to win 16-3 as they make another classic Brady comeback. The Rams had no reason to lose this game. The prevent defense gets you beat. Prevent defense prevents you from winning, especially when it is a 1-score game. They could not give up a touchdown, and they gave up a touchdown. It's just one of those things. It's like, it's inexplicable. Vita Vea played like Aaron Donald because he single-handedly changed the game on offense for the Rams. He just made them – they couldn't get anything done. The Rams had a lot of opportunities on offense to blow this game open and did not do it. They continue to struggle this year on offense. And defense, I think, just it's like, damn, dude, we can't do it all. So they're not playing like themselves at all this year. So don't know what to tell you. Inexplicable, but that's Tom Brady doing Tom Brady things. Tampa now is in first place in their division at a whopping 4-5. 4-5. So that's who knows. And then finally, in the nightcap of Sunday games, we had Tennessee Titans traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs win in overtime 20-17. Patrick Mahomes throws 68 times. 68 times he threw the ball for 446 yards. Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce had over 100 yards receiving. Derrick Henry, continues to get the rock. 115 yards for Derrick Henry. If Tannehill, I heard someone say if Tannehill starts, they probably win, them being Tennessee. I think that's true. I don't think Malik Willis is ready for this game. I don't think he's ready for the offense completely. I think if they, him and Tannehill kind of have a similar skill set, but he's a bit more athletic and probably isn't as polished of a passer. And he just doesn't really have anybody to throw the football to. So, and this is a running team anyway, but I just don't think he's grasped the concept of this offense yet. So the Chiefs defense did what they needed to do to put the ball in Willis's hands, which he was not able to finish the game. Mahomes was able to, decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to be the leading rusher on this team. So Mahomes was like, screw it, I'll do it myself. Leading them all the way back. and like I said, ultimately winning the game in overtime. So Kansas City continues to motor on. Then the Monday night game, we had Baltimore going down to Nolans as the Ravens defeat the Saints 27-13. Pay Lamar Jackson. Pay that man. He's finding ways to win. No Mark Andrews, no problem. Just pay the man. John Harbaugh's already said they're going to pay him. Pay him, bro. Pay him. Trust me. There's plenty of other teams that will give him what he wants money-wise. So, yeah, Andy Dalton continues to struggle as the starter. I don't know. At this point, it's like if Jameis is healthy, put him in. Just put him in. You've seen what you've gotten from Andy Dalton. I don't think it's going to get any better. Now, is it going to get any better with Jameis? I don't know. But you might as well take a look. You've got probably, I think, one more year of him. He's got one more year under contract, I think. Could be wrong. But why not? Make him earn that money. I think Andy Dalton's only there for this year. So that's a team that's probably going to go look to draft a quarterback in this upcoming draft. So we'll see. All right, moving on to next week's games. First, the Thursday night game, we have a dynamite matchup of the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. That was sarcasm, obviously. I'll take the Falcons to bounce back from that horrible win. I just don't see Carolina recovering from that beatdown. I don't know. I don't see it. Then on Sunday, starting off early overseas in Munich, Germany, we have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to take Seattle for the win there. I think Tampa will be feeling good about themselves, but I just think Seattle right now is playing pretty well. I don't see Tampa being able to pull it together. Then I think this is a very interesting game as you have the Minnesota Vikings playing the Buffalo Bills as they go to Buffalo to play. Oh, man, this is a tough game to pick because a lot hinges on Josh Allen's health. I think he'll be fine. All indicators seem to be that he's fine. So given that if Josh Allen is healthy, it is Buffalo that I will be picking. If he is not playing, I will pick Minnesota. But all indicators look like he will play, so Buffalo. Then we've got Detroit taking on Chicago. Give me the Bears and Justin Fields running all up and down Detroit. Then we've got the Denver Broncos coming off a bye taking on Tennessee. I'm going to take Tennessee. I just think I don't see as bad as Denver has been. I don't know. I think coming off the bye, yeah, they'll be refreshed, but I just don't think they got it what it takes this year. The defense will keep them in this game. This will be a really low scoring game, I think. But ultimately, I think Derrick Henry's going to wear them down. So I'll take the Titans. And we have Jacksonville going to Kansas City, take on the Chiefs. Chiefs. Don't really think I need any explanation behind that. Then we've got the Cleveland Browns traveling to Miami, take on the Dolphins. Dolphins all day. Tua continues his magical season. Tyreek probably puts up another 100-yard game. So, cool. Then we have the Houston Texans traveling to East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the New York Football Giants. It's the Giants. The Giants are going to win. Sad. Anyway, then we have New Orleans going to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. I don't know. Which Saints team are you going to get? kind of have an idea what Pittsburgh is, but it's like you never know what Saints team you're going to get. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Pittsburgh. I'm going to say the Steelers win. And we have another dreadful game of the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. The team Josh McDaniel turned down versus the team he decided to take. Both are in a tailspin. I'm going to take the Raiders. I will take the Raiders. Well, yeah, I'll take the Raiders. There's no question mark at running back like Indianapolis has. Will Jonathan Taylor play? Will he not? Then we've got a game that Manny has very strong interest in as the Dallas Cowboys go up to Green Bay to play the Packers. In our group text, we were talking about Aaron Rodgers struggling and looking horrible, and he says, "I will not say anything bad about Aaron Rodgers till after the game this upcoming Sunday. After that, then I will talk trash about him, especially if he stinks it up again." Man, he's got his work cut out for him because Dallas on defense ain't no joke, and his offensive right now is a joke. His defense will probably keep him in the game as long as they can. The realist in me wants to pick one team, wants to pick Dallas. The realist in me wants to pick them. But the hater in me is really, really loud right now and wants to pick Green Bay. I think I'm gonna listen to the hater in me, and I'm gonna pick Green Bay. It's just Aaron Rodgers somehow always figures out how to beat Dallas somehow. Then we have on another NFC West matchup. We have Arizona taking on the Rams. I will take the Cardinals. I'll take the Cardinals to win at the Rams. And then Sunday Night Football, we have the LA Chargers traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. I'm taking the 49ers. To me, the Chargers are just too up and down. There's no consistency in the Chargers. You don't know what you're going to get from week to week. You're going to get this fantastic Chargers team that's scoring left and right, or you're going to get a Chargers team that can't hang on to the ball and tries to give the game away with 40 seconds left before they ultimately get it back. So, I think you got a better idea of what you're getting in San Francisco than you do the Chargers. So, 49ers. Then on Monday night, we have the Washington Commanders traveling up to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I think the Eagles continue their undefeated season. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. Be sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube at In Your House Sports. Be sure to follow us on social media, Facebook, In Your House Sports, Instagram, inyourhouse.sports. All that good stuff. Like and subscribe. Remember, Mondays, college football, 4 p.m. Central. Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Central, NFL reviews. So for your boy Vassos, I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.